Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Mayor and City Council meeting for Monday, December 11th, 2023. If you would please stand for me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, we have roll call. Please show that we have all council members present except for Councilmember Chaney, who is previously excused. Next up, we have the approval of the minutes of the November 8th, 2023, November 13th, 2023 regular meetings, and the corrected closed session minutes from November 8th, 2023. I'm looking for a motion on that.
Move to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Looking for a second.
I'll second it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Proceeding forward, council member statement regarding conflicts of interest on agenda items. Does anybody have a conflict of interest? Hearing none, proceeding forward to resolution, ordinances, and agreements. First, we have the approval of CDM Smith 2024 rate schedule. Questions or concerns from council on that?
No.
Hearing none, looking for a motion on that.
Motion to approve.
Looking for a second.
I will second the motion to approve.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Carries. Next up, we have adoption, ordinance 09-2023, backyard chickens. Any questions, comments, or concerns from council regarding that? Hearing none, I am looking for a motion.
I move to finally approve the backyard chicken measure and let's move on with life.
I'm looking for a second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. Or all those opposed say nay. It carries. Ordinance 10-2023, amendment to officers and employees section of the city code.
I believe we decided to table that.
We have the motion for the table and everything like that. Some questions, comments, or concerns from council?
That would be my comment.
I'm looking for a motion regarding that.
I move to table the measure to study the revision to charter that would be necessary to enact the measure we'd like to enact.
Looking for a second on that.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, carries. Resolution 2023-19, water allocation for December. Comments, questions, or concerns from council? Looking for a motion on that.
So
Looking for a second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, carries. Resolution 2023-20, fee schedule for 2024. Comments, questions, or concerns from council?
Just the, I hope we're going to move forward looking into some measure somehow to alleviate.
Site plans.
Yes, for the, not as broad, I don't know how to define that, but we'll have to come up with some language.
Yes, well, right, I think we had consensus Wednesday to look into a more simplified site plan
Yeah,
process.
that's a good
and
word,
related
simplified
fees.
site plan, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Looking for a motion regarding that.
I move to accept the fee schedule.
Looking for a second.
second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. Carries. City manager report. Any additional stuff, Jim?
Nothing really to add since Wednesday.
Sounds good. Nothing new departmental report-wise, right? Sounds good. Heading down into new business, monthly financial reports. Looking, comments, questions, or concerns from council regarding that? Hearing none, I'm looking for a motion.
Make a motion to approve the resolution.
Looking for a second.
I'll second the motion to approve the financial report.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, carries. Next up, we have accounts payable. Questions, comments, or concerns from council regarding that? Hearing none, I'm looking for a motion.
Move to approve the accounts payable.
Looking for a second.
I'll second it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Going down, we have the approval of the special event permit application, Alyssa Richards Memorial Car Show, October 5th, 2024. Any questions, comments, or concerns from council? Hearing none, I'm looking for a motion.
Motion to approve the special event for Alicia Richards Memorial Car Show.
Looking for a second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, carries. Next up, we have nomination of Main Street Advisory Board, Keith Reed Jr. Comments, questions, or concerns from council? Hearing none, I'm looking for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Looking for a second.
I'll second that.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, carries. Councilmember reports. Councilmember Tillman, you are up.
Not a whole lot at the Planning Commission meeting. There was someone who was seeking a waiver to a site plan. The information that they gave us was not quite sufficient for us to be able to grant that waiver, but we did ask that he go back and we gave a much more detailed list of what we'd like to see and what needs to be on the plan. And I talked to that applicant and made sure he understood what all he needed to do, and he was very clear after the discussion. So he will be coming back at a later time with a much more complete plan for us to be able to waive the full site plan permit process. It'll be enough information for us to be able to go forward. Let's see, Director Hale's report. Memorial Park expansion, the plans are coming along. Avapco is moving forward, as is Recovery 180 with their site plans and plans to move forward with what they're going to do on those two sites. Garnet Ridge came back with a revised concept plan. Their original plan was more of a condo kind of setup, and they wanted to revise that to sell the lots in fee simple. So they had to do a revision to their concept plan, and they came back with that revision, and we approved the concept, but I think there's still a lot of discussion to be had on what the actual plan is going to look like. That pretty much was the bulk of the discussions. That and we did have some discussion on the chicken ordinance, and the revisions we asked for were included in the last run of the ordinance, and which we just approved. So all is well there.
Sounds good. I'll fill in for Councilmember Cheney and read off the Taneytown Police Department reports. Monthly statistical report, total dispatcher generated calls for service was 372, total citations issued 42, total warnings issued 64, total adult arrests 10, total juvenile arrests 0. Community outreach on November 4th, Officer Eccles attended Abapco's Family Day. The event was an opportunity for Officer Eccles to represent the department and have some very positive interaction with the public. He distributed handouts to everyone and let the children tour his patrol car. On November 25th, Chief Baker held a Meet the Chief event during Small Business Saturday. Citizens were able to come to the police station and interact with the chief. And then we have the training reports. In-service training, continuing education. We had identity theft crimes, 3 hours, use of force, 2 hours by all active officers. Firearms training qualifications, November 21st. Patrol Squad B did firearms training qualifications with pistol and patrol rifle. On November 28th, Patrol Squad A did firearms training qualifications with pistol and patrol rifle. Field Training Officer Blaze is on schedule to complete field training evaluation for next month. And that is all I have for the Taneytown Police Department report. Mayor Pro Tem?
As far as the economic development report, mainly wanted to report on the small business Saturday, which was the 25th of November. It was very well done. Mish did a good job in preparing for the event. He had people in their places and things going on, and I was pleased to see some activity downtown. I spent most of the day downtown from about 11 o'clock to about 3:30, and was able to spend some money, as a matter of fact. So
Always a good thing.
it was, I don't know, a surprise. I guess it was a pleasant experience to see our shops stocked with things that, I mean, people wanted to buy. I particularly point out well, I mean, everybody that participated did a good job. I spent a lot of time talking with the Bollingers at at 1 York Street and talking about their plans. I spent some time talking with Mr. Kuhn with his antique shop, and we had a good conversation there. I spent money in the jewelry store. I spent money in Rust's and even the bakery. I can't really walk past the bakery without spending money. But all in all, I thought it was a very productive day. And I don't know whether this is time to bring it up or not, but we had a conversation at our holiday party last week about allowing free parking on the streets during the Christmas season. Of course, we've only got 2 weeks left. And Jim told me that we had passed an ordinance some time ago that would allow for that, but I didn't know about it, or if I did, I forgot about it. And I'm not sure other people know either. And it comes to find out that it's just for the weekends. Well, that's kind of anticlimactic, although we don't have a lot of people open during the week. I mean, you know, that reduces the traffic a little bit. And there's some concern about, well, if you take the meters down during the week, then the tenants will park there. And while that might be true, I don't think it's going to be to the point where it's being abused. I've been a downtown business person for over 20 years, and I never recall the main streets being in such a state that you couldn't find a parking place if you wanted to find one. I would really like to propose that we extend the free parking gift to our citizens and our merchants for the remainder of the Christmas season. And all our nearby towns are doing that, and it seems odd that we're not. And I just think it would be of support. If a business owner complains about somebody parking in front of their house too long, or from their business too long and taking up place or taking up space or whatever, I think that's just a matter of a phone call to the city hall or the police department to say, hey, there's been a guy in my parking in front of my store for the last 8 hours. They can deal with that on a one-on-one basis, kind of like the chicken ordinance, you know what I mean? So I just think that it would be a good effort to allow for free parking. And I think it should be, the meters should be bagged or a sign of some kind put on there. Free parking, compliments to the mayor and city council. Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or whatever we say these days. And maybe set a 3-hour limit. I mean, we certainly could do that. And I think most people would respect that, even if a tenant did park there. He's been put on notice that he can't stay there more than 3 hours, so.
Jim, just to check, is that something we could just do a consensus on? If we wanted to forego enforcement for the holiday season, or would you want to
Yeah, I think we could do consensus on that.
Okay.
And the chief's here this evening, so he'll be able to pass it on to the department.
I want to open it up for comments. Gordon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the parking pass system that's been in use for the last several years, I think works just fine. Although, you do get a lot of people who say, well, I already put the quarter in the meter, because they don't know that parking passes are available. And that's something, much like something that acknowledges the fact that we're giving free parking during the holidays. We should find some way to post on the meters or something on the meter posts that the merchants have the parking passes, so they can go in and get a pass and they don't have to pay for the meter. I mean, I don't necessarily think the meters are a great idea to start with, but you do have to have a way to make sure that the residents in the apartments around the downtown area don't take up the spots. And so they do tend to do that anyway after 6 PM, which of course they are allowed to do. As long as they're gone in the morning, I guess it's not really a big issue. But I just, I would like to see something done in terms of being able to, of informing people that parking passes are available. And we probably don't even need really to, if we do that, we don't really necessarily need to do anything about a parking holiday, as it were.
Well, I think you're right, and, I have parking passes that I give to my clients too, but just like you say, inevitably, I'll say, here's a free parking place, you don't have to put a quarter in the meter. I've already put a quarter in the meter. And it's cumbersome, it makes them come in, go out, come in, come out, and I get most of my clients are 62, and they don't like walking any more than they have to, I guess, I don't know. But anyhow, I think it's particularly in light of the, how am I gonna say this? The struggles we have had over the last several council meetings, I think it would show a unified and positive effort on our part, the mayor and city council, if we order this small token for 2 weeks to give people free parking. Continue with the chip slips that you put on your dashboard. I don't have any problem with it. In fact, I encourage that. But it's, when somebody calls me up on the phone and says they're coming in, I can say, well, come in and get a parking pass. But a lot of times, just the walk-ins it's too late, that's all.
It does bring us in line with the cities around us. If you guys want, we could look for a consensus tonight for the 2 weeks and then maybe bring up meters for the council workshop in January just to kind of start going over maybe what we'd like the evolution of meters and Taneytown to look like.
Yeah.
Does that?
Yeah,
Do we
well,
have time to get something together to bag the meters for 2 weeks?
I don't think we would do bags at this point, but we could probably do
laminated
little
flyer.
signs. We have a laminator. We could do a little, zip tie it to the
Well-
meter, something, yeah.
Yeah, do something on it.
Right, the bags actually say no parking, so
Let's not do that.
that's not going to be helpful,
No,
so,
I thought,
That would just confuse things.
right, so
No,
I think, but we
That's
can,
actually a comment that Sharon made to me about, my wife Sharon made to me about parking in Westminster. When she first went to downtown Westminster earlier in the Christmas season, she's like, well, why are all the meters have signs on them? And it looks like you're not supposed to park
Right.
there. So until you stop and you look, if the sign's like blowing around in the wind, turn the wrong way, you think you're not supposed to park there. So we need to be mindful of that it doesn't look like we're bagging the meters and not allowing parking.
Think of the color green instead of red, maybe.
sure, we can do some
Thank you.
holiday shape or colors and try to
Tie a
make it
ribbon
very
on it.
obvious, that it's Christmassy.
Okay.
The little Star of Bethlehem.
I'm looking for a consensus on that, then I'll start down here.
I'm fine.
aye.
Yep,
Sounds good. Consensus from
thank
council
you
on that.
very much.
you.
I think that's
And I think you're right. Let's put that up on
For
the agenda
January
for January.
workshop, yeah.
Workshop that we can talk about parking and
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. I can remember after Streetscape, they came and said that we don't want to reinstall the parking meters, and I was against it. And I mean, everybody was in here with tar and feathers and rails, and I mean,
well,
I didn't want to hear it.
There are, I mean, there are other
So I
ways
said,
to
okay,
handle
put the
it.
parking meters.
Other ways.
Especially in today's day and age, there's definitely other ways to handle it. You know, and some of the meters are old, faded. They're hard to see through the glass. It's, you know, so I'm not sure that they're all entirely operational, although somebody checks on it. You know, back, you know, in the Stone Age when I was in college, the city of Newark would chalk the tires on people's cars when they were parked on Main Street. And, you know, that was how they would check when people have moved. You know, and so, but that means that somebody has to walk the beat of all of the metered area, you know, wherever we have meters now, that would then, if we took the meters out and wanted to try to monitor the parking there.
My understanding is we can't
Well,
chalk that
there's
anymore.
because of the high percentage of rentals apartments downtown, that could be a problem.
Right.
But it also could be monitored. I mean, I don't think it's something that's gonna be an overwhelming burden. Again, if you'll have a few people abuse it, but, I think it'll only be a few people.
And I will say, me and economic developer Mish, we have looked into some of the meter stuff before, so maybe if we can get him to come in next month for the workshop, so we can talk about just talk about meters and what his suggestions may be as to how they may work. Again, I know he's been talking with a couple different vendors on solutions for that, so it'd be nice to see what his perspective would be for it.
That's all I had.
Along with the revenue that it generates.
Did you get that, Jim?
Do you have an idea how much revenue the meters do generate?
I
Around
bet we don't, I
8,000.
bet we don't pay the time of the
That was the last number I
officers that
got.
run around and empty the meters. I bet we don't pay their salary.
Yeah, I remember the last time we had the conversation, it was around 8,000, was around the generation, yeah, annually for it.
Meter compliance is pretty poor in the city, so they don't generate a huge amount.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look forward to that in January workshop, and we have the consensus.
To continue with the
Yep.
holiday. Okay.
Councilmember Foster?
Are you done?
You're not.
Okay, DPW is, meeting with the developers of the, new building for to get some new drawings, some more updated drawings. At the time that they get that, I will be meeting with them to go over them. And at the appropriate time, I will see that the senator gets those drawings at the appropriate time. Habitat for Humanity is moving along. Few delays and bumps, but they still expect to be inside of the homes doing work in mid-January. And that's all I have. Everybody else is in holiday mode.
Councilmember Fuller?
Ballinger Park contractors are finally coming down the home stretch. They've experienced a number of material shortages, other challenges, but have done a great job overcoming these issues, albeit slow at times. They should be finished by the end of the month, fingers crossed. The city received a huge grant for the Memorial Park expansion project to the tune of $864,781. This comes from the Land and Water Conservation Fund, run by the National Park Service, brokered by the Department of Natural Resources. This funding is going to go a long way towards the cost of that project at Memorial Park, and we are very grateful for it. Shout out to Lorena, who has done a wonderful job with all of her grants. Candy cane hunt, Christmas tree lighting event on December 2nd was a success, well attended. There were 400 candy canes hidden, plus the 6 blue candy canes that were the prize winners, and they were all found within 10 to 15 minutes. Special thanks to our wonderful Public Works crew for all their hard work decorating, and to the Park and Rec Advisory Board members, to Kathy Dempf and Brian for the lovely Christmas carols, and to Michael Topper with Public Works for running the wagon rides, as well as the Taneytown Volunteer Fire Company for getting Santa to the park. Thanks also to the police department officers who attended, and of course, to the most important man there, Santa. Our holiday decorating contest is open. If you decorate your house and would like to register for a chance to win prizes, please email Lorena by this Friday, the 15th. The judges will be reviewing all entries, and winners will be determined and announced by December 30th. Prizes are gift cards from local businesses, $100 for first place, $75 for second, $50 for third. Our next Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting is January 10th, and that is following the Taneytown Athletic Association meeting that same evening. I believe it starts at 6:30. Yeah, so that's it.
Sounds good. I had one additional thing before we end for the night. That was that I talked with the city manager today about putting out the city attorney position for requesting for proposals on it. That way, whenever we do get those proposals back, we're gonna bring them before council so that council can have their input on the proposal that we've seen. And I want to make sure that council has the same level of trust going forward with our next city attorney as I do with the next city attorney, to make sure everybody feels that they have been involved in the process. So that'll be coming up. And if we're not able to make it by the January session, we might hold a special session to make sure that we do get that taken care of.
We don't want to let that drag.
Other than that, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a speedy recovery to Jeff Cheney, the husband of Councilmember Cheney here. Hoping to have her back next month. Thanks, everybody. Again, Happy Holidays. Looking for a motion on adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Looking for a second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes carry.
Imagine that.
Thanks all.